Dear students, myself Professor Narayana Das. Today I am going to discuss about the topic formal and informal organization structures, staffing and its importance, principles and process of staffing. These are the topics which are from principles of management related to the course management, that is PBM. So we'll move on to the what is the meaning of formal organization structures. So formal organization structures, it is an organization clearly defines the duties, responsibilities, authority and relationships which prescribes by the top management. The formal organizations represents the classifications of activities within the enterprises which indicates who is reporting to whom and explain the vertical journal of communications in which the chief executives will be connecting to the ordinary workers. In other words, I can say organization structures which clearly defines the duties, responsibilities, relationships which is prescribed by the management. This is what the formal organization structure says. Now we'll see the features of formal organizations. So it is very simple. The features of organizations, it is the formal organizations structures is very simple and properly planned, which is deliberately impersonal. It is based on the delegated authority and the relationships and accountability at all the levels of the organizations will be clearly defined. The organizational charts are usually drawn and there will be unity of command in is normally maintained this type of the organizations. What are the advantages of formal organization structures? Formal organization structures, the advantages. The formal organization structures advantages will be it reduces the conflicts among the workers. So the definite boundaries of each workers will be clearly fixed and it will automatically reduces the conflict among the workers. The entire building is kept under the control. So there will be a overlapping of responsibilities will be avoided, as there will be no overlapping of responsibility among the members and it will be easily avoided. The gap between the responsibilities of the employees will be filled up. So buck passing is very difficult under this formal organization structures. Normally exact standard of performance are established under the formal organizations. It will be resulting the and motivating of employees. There will be some sense of security exists in the job front, and there will be a classification of tasks. The task will give assurance to the employees a sense of securities, and there will be no chance of favorisms. So there will be evaluation and placement of employees in all the aspects. So everything will be followed systematically and there is no favorism exists. It makes people or the process less dependent on one person's as the organizations systematically work on right track. So what are the disadvantages of the formal organizations is the spirit of initiative may sometime reduces or decline. Organizations may be in certain cases this kind of formalizations which reduces the spirit of initiative among the members because there will be restrictions by the employer or the management on employees. Sometimes the authority is also used for the sake of convenience of the employees without taking into considering the need for using the authority, and it does not consider the sentiments or values of the employees in the social organization structures. The formal organizations sometimes may reduce the speed of informal communications, and sometimes it also creates the problem of coordinations. These are all the disadvantages of formal organization structures. Now we'll see what is informal organization structures. The informal organization structures establishes the relationships based on the likes and dislikes of employees without considering the rules, regulations, and procedures strict sense. So there will be a mutual coordination, mutual friendships, and understanding, respecting each other. There will be a sense of confidence which exists in this kind of organizations. These are all the clear pictures or features informal organizations. The informal organization establishes and under the formal organizations also. This kind of information structures exist in formal organizations. The informal organization structures relationships or informal relationships which will have a greater job satisfactions and results maximum productions. Now we'll move on to the characteristics of informal organizations. Of course, there is a relationship exists based on the likes and dislikes of the employees, based on their intentions or interest. Placements will be done, and there will be no force enhancement or pressurizing employees to do a task which are not accepted by his mind. So informal organizations arises on voluntary basis and not by force, and there will be no place in the organizational chart, I can say. This sort of organization structures exist in all the levels of organizations. Rules are not written, but it will be commonly followed by mutual cooperations. Informal organization structures, it ensures developments or relationship develops either through mutual respect as a behavior and a habit or a customs or a traditions aspects. So there is no structures in the chart and definiteness into the informal organization structures. The rules and traditions of informal organizations are not written, but which are commonly followed. So these are all the features of informal organization structures. Of course, it has got certain disadvantages also. It has the nature of upsetting the morality of the workers, and it acts according to the psychology of mob or mob psychology, you can say. So there may be a chances of favoritism also, favoritism. So informal organizations indirectly reduces the efforts of managements in order to promote the greater productivity, and it spreads rumors among the workers regarding the functioning within the organization environment unnecessarily. So there might be a chances of rumors spreads among the organizations. Now we'll move on to the side heading staffing. Staffing is one of the most important aspect of managerial functions. It is concerned with the assessment of manpower requirement and which requires recruitment and selection of personnel, emphasizing on training and development of people or personnel, and also periodic appraisals of the performance of the personnel, and it is a common function of management also. So according to Mr. Benjamin says, staffing is the process involved in identifying, assessing, placing, evaluating, directing individuals at work. I'll repeat, it's a process of identifying, assessing the work, placing of employees, evaluating and directing, guiding the individuals at the workforce ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಈ ಸ್ಟಾಫಿಂಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿರುವ ಅಂಶಗಳು ಯಾವುವು ಅಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಟು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಜಾಬ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ catching the interest of the prospective candidates, that is uh, make them mindset to apply for a job. And also, once the candidate is applied for a job, we need to be selected, which needs to be selected, ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಯ್ಕೆಗೆ ಹಲವಾರು ಮಾನದಂಡಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ. So there will be a classifications of personal and fixations. Once the employees has been chosen, we need to categorize the employees based upon their nature of work. We need to grouping the work, and also appropriate fixation of salary must be done. And once it is also appointed, the proper place should be shown, so that employee must work free mind with good intentions. Then there should be appropriate and adequate training should be done. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಆಯ್ಕೆಯಾದ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ನೂತನ ಸದಸ್ಯ ಅಥವಾ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅವನಿಗೆ ತರಬೇತಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ತರಬೇತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವನು ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ತನ್ನನ್ನು ಪೂರ್ಣ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಡಗಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏರುಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಪ್ರೋಪ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಡೆಕ್ವೇಟ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಗಿವನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೇರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ಸ್. So movement of employees from one place to another, that can be taken care by the transfer. That and also ಉನ್ನತ ಸ್ಥಾನಗಳಿಗೆ, so based on the merit of performance of an employee, the upliftment promotions must be given. And there is, of course, there is a requirement for retirement. Old or experienced, or people who are well versed over a long period of time must be given appropriate chance to move or to take higher positions or to remove, as because of the age factor or a physical element also. So these are all the elements of staffing. Though the functions of staffing, of course, the function of staffing, there should be an appropriate manpower planning. We need to plan how many headcounts has been required, and development of human resources based upon the training and executory methodology programs, and fixing the employment standards, that is providing appropriate facilities by proper ventilation, seating arrangements, facilities must be given to the employees. And staffing also calls for identifying where the sufficient number of people will be there. The sources we need to concentrate for forthcoming selections, training, or recruitment places. And the selections and placement, of course, is an important area of staffing, which can be followed by training programs also. These are all the functions of staffing. The principles of staffing, of course, it calls for job definition. So there should be clear and prior determination of results which are expected from workers. Excuse me. So job should be clearly defined, and what is expected from the job, which should be properly explained at the time of recruitment or selections. Principle of managerial appraisals. Appraisal should be done on proper fair basis. We need to evaluate and give a platform for an employee to develop his career, and so make him to include, so contribute to the productivity. And there is a principle of management framing, how to grow and move for our higher positions. The principle of staffing emphasizes on, so push the existing employees to the upfront, so that youngsters can be given opportunities. Young blood should be infused to the productions and for future expansion programs. So, and there is a principle of open competitions. Competition, healthy competition are always good for the growth. So there should be fair and equitable measurement of performance, which is basis on open competitions. Anyone can do a better work. There should not be any bias. This is what the principles of staffing says. There should be a continuous development. Continuous development is an important principles of staffing, because an organization works based on the philosophy of uh, uh, infinite stage, so perpetual existence. So for that perpetual existence, so it requires a continuous development and ensures a healthy environment to take the employees. So there is a principle continuous development holistically. There should be an appropriate planning of human resource counts by considering absenteeisms or removal or dismissal or promotion and transfers of existing employees, appropriate recruitment, training and development programs, and there should be proper evaluations of an employee based on the outcome or the time which employee spends qualitatively. So there should not be any bias. So these are all the process of staffing. So I suggest dear students to follow T. Ramaswamy, Principles of Management, textbooks, Himalayan Publishing House, which is written in 2014 editions, which will enhances your knowledge. Thank you for giving an opportunity. Thank you once again.